Hey there, and welcome to the Branded by Amazing podcast. This is episode number 13, and today we have a little bit of a different format. We're actually interviewing one of our students who went from basically just getting started in this business to selling it for multiple seven figures in under 3 years. She built her brand from scratch. Absolutely incredible. So I am Matt Clark, the CEO of Amazing.com.
And I'm Mike McClary, the Chief Product Officer of Amazing.
And we're excited to bring you Anna Silva. She's a mentor with Amazing Selling Machine. She's a student of ours, and she's now a seven-figure e-commerce entrepreneur. All right, so Anna, welcome to the podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We've heard a lot about your story. We've shared it in other places, but we wanted to do it right here on the podcast. And so we kind of want to cover a few different things. So cover a little bit about your journey and sort of how you got started for people that are may just either want some inspiration or they're trying to figure out how do I actually do this business. And then you've been all the way through the cycle of selling a business, and then now you've got some new, cool, exciting things happening. So we kind of want to get into some of that too for maybe existing sellers who are out there, and maybe they're been selling on Amazon for a few years, maybe they're even doing a few $1 million a year in sales, and so now they're trying to figure out, what's next, what's the newest thing, how do I keep growing my business?
So I was looking for something to do. My kids had left for college, and I first thought maybe I'll go back to school. I had a few things on my bucket list, and one of them was maybe get a PhD in nutrition. So I started that route, and immediately I figure out that's not what I wanted. So I started actually looking. It came as an ad in the Facebook page that I was looking at. An ad showed up on how to do drop shipping. It's like, great, I can do that. And then I started selling yoga pants and some other fitness apparel in a Shopify store. And the technical part, I have a technical background, so that was very easy to get started. But I didn't know anything about business or this type of business, e-commerce business. So I felt lost right away. And that's when I got an email from ASM, one of something I signed up for, and I decided to join ASM, and that's how I started my my business. That was 2017, very late 2017. And then I went through the ASM course and loved it, did well, followed all the steps, and started my business.
So Anna, you mentioned when you started selling yoga pants, that was on Shopify, so your own website, not Amazon, is that right?
Right, not Amazon.
Were you also shipping out the products yourself as well?
No, I was doing drop shipping.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good.
So I sold 5 items, 4 of them to friends. And then I soon realized, oh no, I don't think I want to do this. I want something different. So ASM came to me somehow, and that's how I started. And I was able to grow fairly fast. I still work full time. Actually, I'm a assistant director at a university here in Colorado, and so I didn't have a lot of time. I knew I wanted to do something else other than work. I knew I wanted another source of income that was a little more passive, and so this business ended up to be the perfect thing. I knew I didn't want to work too much, and then I wanted to retire early. So all of those things combined made this business, and which is an FBA business, the perfect business for me.
Cool. So you took ASM, so you'd had a little bit of Shopify experience. You were selling some yoga pants, and then so you get started with ASM. Like, what was that journey like for you? Like, how did you decide what product to sell? How did you start doing the marketing, that sort of thing?
Well, to be honest, I followed exactly what ASM told me to do, and that's the things that I didn't feel that I had doing this on my own. I had to look every single thing I wanted to do. I had to go find the YouTube video, and I was able to eventually find those things, but it was hard and complicated and took a lot of time. So I just followed ASM from module 1 to module 8. Just go find a product that has demand, not a lot of competition. Um, make sure it's a quality product. Um, have a great listing, do PPC. I did everything ASM told me to do, and it worked very well.
So what made the product you ended up selling the first time? What made you choose that one? Because I imagine you probably found a couple that met the criteria, but why'd you choose the one that you did?
Yeah, I ended up going into toys, which is not exactly what I want. What I wanted. My kids are grown and out of the house, so but I was going through all the categories. I was keeping an open mind. I tried kitchen and I got samples for different kitchen products. And then the numbers ended up not working for one reason or another. But ASM told me find 10 products, and I went just down my list, and the toy one was the next one on the list. And once I received the sample, was such a great quality that I did not expect. And I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And it was not my passion at all, but it became my passion once I started making money. It was very exciting.
What do you think worked the best for you to start making sales for that product?
To be honest, PPC.
Okay.
I focused on PPC. My background is with data, so I always enjoyed looking at data and let the numbers speak to me. So I think having a good product, a good listing, and a PPC, I feel like those three things combined is what made me successful. I tried different social media. I'm not gonna say that that doesn't work, but it didn't work for me. I didn't enjoy, so I didn't. And I wanted to do everything by myself too. I didn't want to hire people to do certain things. I wanted to learn and do everything. So I just focused on those three things. Um, Great product, which helped because I didn't have barely any customer service that I had to do. So every time somebody ever complained about anything, I would return the money, get a new product to them. So it was easy to do perfect customer service. That's how I got reviews. The product again was great quality product.
Okay. And then how did your business kind of grow? Like you started from basically nothing, and then how did it kind of progress over time in sales or units sold or even the size of the business, like number of products?
So it started really from nothing. And because I launched in February, not a perfect time to launch a toy, it went very slowly. So I probably lost money the first couple months and then broke even a couple more months. And then Q4 started and it exponentially grew. And then I was able to maintain um, the sales for the next year. So I got to 100K a month in the first 9 months. Like by I think October, November, I hit the 100K mark, and then I was profit ever since. And because again I had a good product, a good and not a lot of expenses because all I did was PPC, and it was just me doing everything. My profit margin was pretty high, so I've always had a profit after the first few months. So the first year, I think I made maybe close to 300K, and then the second year doubled it, and then the second year the third year was over 1 million. That's when I decided to just sell.
That's profit or sales.
No sale. Like after everything was close to 25%.
And then yeah, so then I guess you ended up selling your business, right?
Yes. So earlier this year in January 21. Yeah, I sold the business. It was a simple process for me. Again, I was very organized. I had everything the buyers needed right away. So it was within 30 days, a little less even. We got it sold.
Cool. And then you said this entire process, it was only ever you in the business, right?
Nobody.
Why do you think you wanted to do that?
I manage people in my day job, and I just didn't want to do that. Yeah, not right now. My next one probably I'll grow that way, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do whatever I wanted, whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and if I wanted to sell, I sell. I didn't want to have to ask permission or feel bad if I had to fire somebody because I wanted to do something different. If I wanted to stop, I could stop. I didn't want to have anybody else involved.
Yeah, makes sense.
So Anna, you mentioned that the whole process from when you first worked with the buyer to selling it was pretty quick. But how did you get in touch with them? Like, were you looking for someone to buy your business, or did they reach out to you?
I was looking for somebody to buy it. Again, because toys was never what I wanted to do. But again, the money was great. I felt like somebody else could do a better job at growing and enjoying it more than I did for the product that I had.
Awesome. And I think we're okay saying it was Thrasio is the company that you ended up selling to, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And they were pretty good to work with?
They are great to work with.
What do you think you learned in the process of selling your business that maybe surprised you or you weren't expecting?
How easy it was. It was very easy. I don't know if it was because of Thrasio or because I had everything very organized. I didn't even have an accountant or a lawyer to do anything.
And your sales were 100% on Amazon?
Yes, 100% on Amazon. So I focused. I also, because of my time being so limited, I really knew how to focus my time, and I knew I'm very into the 80-20 rule that I knew that 20% of my time would be spent on the 80% of what would return my money, which is Amazon. I could spend more time doing Shopify, Walmart, or going to Europe even. But I knew that it would take a lot of my time and maybe not return too much. So I focused on Amazon. And that is also what probably attracted Thrasio to my business, because they could see potential to grow to those other markets.
You started selling in February, right? And was that 2018? So, and you sold in January of 2021. So is that right? Less than 3 years, you had just started a business and sold it. Okay, it's a pretty short amount of time to build a business and have a pretty big return on your investment there. Given everything that you know, do you think you could repeat that process all over again?
Yes, and that's what I'm doing. And my plan is to repeat, get bigger but faster too. So for that, I need help. So my new brand that I'm building, I'm working with my son who's helping me. So and then I also am partnering with a couple of friends that I met along the way that I'm very thankful. And we're in the process of buying a business.
Wow, that's exciting. So have you already have a business and a product identified that you're interested in?
Yes.
And then, so what do you expect to do then? Like, what's your timeline for taking this new business and I guess flipping it is what I call it. But what's your timeline for doing that?
Yeah, the business already exists, so it has a little bit of history. But it needs a lot of help, and we think we can grow to a point that it's good and sellable in a year or so, a year, 18 months.
Wow, that's pretty crazy to be able to do that.
Definitely less than 2 years.
So you put in all this time and effort, you build a business, and then at this point, a lot of times people will say, like, why not just sit on a beach or stay up in the mountains where you're at in Colorado and be done with it? Why keep going at this point?
Well, even though I'm not young, I feel young. So there are things that I like to do. I mean, I enjoy working.
Yeah.
So, and this is the type of work that I enjoy. I'm also able through this business to give back. So I have the opportunity to mentor with ASM and Titan. So I'm glad to give back what I know and help others grow. So I'm enjoying my time.
Yeah, that's awesome. And by the way, just so people know, Anna is a mentor with us
Mhm.
with ASM, so she definitely is doing what she's talking about. Helps out our community a ton. People just getting started, especially. Cool. So, is there anything else you think somebody maybe earlier in the journey should know about this, about doing the business? Something you picked up along the way that you don't hear a lot of other people talk about? Anything like that that comes to mind?
Yeah, I think the main thing is this is a real business. So it's not something that you should take too lightly. It's possible to do it on the side like I did, but it's a real business. So it requires focus, time, money. Of course, you can start from zero, but you need a little money to invest um, in your inventory. So it will. I mean, business. There's a lot of ups and downs, so you need to be patient. But the growth potential is incredible. It's an easy business to scale. Um, so yeah, it's a real business. If you decide to do it, just do it, but put the right focus and energy to do it. It's not a joke. It's a real business.
Yeah, and I know at one point brings to mind something is that about a year ago or so, I had you and a handful of other successful people on, and I was kind of getting some feedback about some software stuff that we were working on. And I think, from what I remember, you were tracking something like 80 data points, like every day whenever you're running your business. Like, is that true?
Yep.
And what were you looking at every day? What was most important to you?
So I had a spreadsheet that started with what ASM provided us in the beginning, just your daily sales tracker. So I would keep track every day, and I would do that myself. It would only take me maybe 15 minutes, but I did that every day. I felt like it was a way to keep keep track or keep my pulse on the business. So I tracked uh, BSR, the day of the week, um, how many sales or how many orders, um, what else? I mean, so many things. But I tracked my competitors too. So I picked maybe 7 competitors to track some of their numbers, their BSR reviews. So I checked my reviews too, um, my PPC, and I wanted to see everything in one place. So then I could identify what would any things that I changed, what would affect, what was the effect of the changes I made. So again, I'm pretty big on data. At one time, I built a database, um, and I was loading data from Amazon, and then I built my database that would report back to me. That was just like a fun project for me, but it became too much work, and I don't think it was necessary at the time, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah. So you mentioned the 80/20 earlier. For today and say 2021 or going forward, what do you think the 20% is that's most important for somebody who wants to succeed on Amazon?
Like the 3 things I mentioned already, good quality product. Don't ever skimp on the quality of the product. Um, a great listing, putting something together with your phone, taking pictures of your with your phone. Like I did that. I started with pictures of my phone, but then immediately the data told me that that was not enough. My conversion was not great. So then I ended up paying somebody to do it for me. So great listing, great quality product, and you need to learn PPC. Either you learn yourself or pay somebody to do it for you.
And what about any kind of ranking campaigns? You know, giveaways, that sort of thing to kind of push you up in organic rankings. You would put those other things ahead of that.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, that comes too. You can do other things. You can do, of course, social media. If you have a following, you can do all sorts of things. But social media, I feel like it's more like an art too.
Yeah.
You need to, again, either you know yourself or you hire somebody that's an expert. It's hard to do it on your own unless you already know that.
And then I guess kind of last question here is, maybe for people that are already selling pretty well on Amazon, or maybe they hope to be someday, what is your advice if they're thinking about selling their business or not?
Get yourself organized. Make sure you know your numbers. I always have everything separated, like a bank account, credit card. So it was easy to provide any numbers that the buyers wanted. I had my folders were very organized too, so I had all my images, all my the videos, my PPC reports. Yeah, you pretty much get yourself organized and make sure you have profit, because they are looking for buyers are looking for profit. So make sure you have a healthy profit.
Yeah, so Anna, I really appreciate you coming here. Such a cool story. Went from basically not really having done this business before to selling business for a good chunk of money in just under 3 years, and now you're back at it again. So I really appreciate you coming on here.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, so that was Anna Silva. Like we said, she basically went from brand new to this business to selling her brand in just under 3 years for multiple 7 figures to one of the biggest aggregators or buyers of Amazon FBA businesses out there. Super cool. Shows you the power of this opportunity right now, and that she's back at it doing it again. So if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, and maybe we might be able to throw one to Anna, go to Amazing.com/branded. That's BRANDED, and we'll see you in the next episode.